So Jay, Barry and Ben cooking up melted cheese. Is that good enough for a big night in?
I'm alright with the melted cheese. I'm slightly more concerned about the offer of a hot tub.
There's no hot tub, no.
Is that?
That's weird.
Ben invited us round for a fondue.
Yeah, which I'm sceptical about anyway, because he's never...
Fondue, although it will be a lot of fun.
Fondue.
A lot of fun. A big cheese fondue, Swiss style, some fougasse, caramelised onion and rosemary, and a whole bunch of stuff to dippy dip in.
That is amazing.
Pass those around.
That's a big shot of vodka.
Yeah, you seem to have got a lot of things to dippy dip into our cheese fondue, but you forgot the drinks.
We're drinking water.
And there is a reason, which I'm going to tell you about right now.
During these festive times, it's good to get around a table with friends and family, but sometimes we take this, clean water, for granted, and yet there's people all over the world who aren't as fortunate as ourselves.
That's why we've teamed up with Charity Water, because later on we're going to be raising money and awareness for such an amazing cause. Cheers!
Cheers. Or cheese. Cheese fondue.
We're bringing fondue back.
Bringing fondue back. It is the epitome of social food. Just have a stab and have a dip.
That's delicious.
Proper cheesy.
I'm gonna dippy dip now.
That is super cheesy.
But it's not too cheesy.
So did you make it with a roux?
No. Oh, that would be a lot easier, but the classic fondue method is quite different. First up, take a clove of raw garlic, peel it and rub it all around the inside of your bowl. That'll give it garlic flavour. And then take your wine, in this case we've got 2 glasses, 500ml, of a dry wine. Heat it up till it's almost simmering.
In regards to the wine, we've got a question here from Sam saying, in pretty much every recipe I've ever seen for fondue, it includes either white wine or some kind of beer. What difference does it make, and do you need it?
So obviously you need liquid, and wine or beer or sometimes cider has amazing flavour you're adding to it, but it's also about the acid you get in wine, which is what, don't use a sweet wine.
Right.
Use a dry, kind of sharp, tangy wine, because you need that acid, because that acid is what stops the proteins of the cheeses from clumping together. So if you did want to leave the alcohol out, I guess you could do it with something like a vegetable stock and lemon juice, but you need that lemon juice. We're already adding lemon juice into this. A squeeze of more lemon juice with some vegetable stock would give you one without alcohol. It would just be slightly different. Next up, place a dusting of corn flour into your grated cheese, and that's not traditional, but it's just a cheat to stabilise it as it all comes together. Then place small amounts of cheese into your warm wine as you continually whisk, and just keep adding in more cheese, more cheese, more cheese, more whisking.
Let me guess, more cheese?
Until you have the fondue you want. With all of this cheese, a squeeze of lime and a grating of nutmeg. That's a lemon.
Yeah.
A squeeze of lemon and a grating of nutmeg. This is a 50-50 blend of Emmental and Gruyere. So Emmental is quite a bland cheese, which gives you the bulk, is a bit cheaper.
I like that.
And Gruyere is the kind of funky, nutty one. If you made it all with Gruyere, you'd have to be a real cheese lover to love it, but also it'd be very, very expensive.
Nice jumper.
Yeah, well done. Bit early.
Wait a minute, the memo was all wear Christmas jumpers.
No, not this week.
Next week. While Barry continues to melt our cheese, you can get everything else ready. No fondue is good unless you've got things to dip in it. So we've got roast potatoes, boiled potatoes, cherry tomatoes, celery, carrot battens, and these, quail's eggs. All they need is 1 minute in boiling water and then another minute in cold running water to cool them down before you peel them. And that will give you, providing the egg is at room temperature, a soft-boiled quail's eggs. Egg.
You've done it again. What's wrong with you?
Too much wine.
Can I try some of this bread? It's salty.
This is
You called it a funny name.
Yeah.
fougasse.
That looks very, very soft.
Have a piece and have a dunk.
That is brilliant.
I love bread that's been like lathered in salt. There's something about salt bread.
A fondue isn't complete without some banging bread.
And this is a fougasse, strong white flour into a mixer, along with dried yeast we dissolve in water, sugar, salt, and some olive oil. Knead it all up for 5 or 10 minutes until you've got an elastic dough.
Cool.
What you should have is a nice sticky dough. Tuck it under into one ball, a little bit of extra flour if it's too sticky.
Very sticky.
And then place it back into the bowl, cover it in a tea towel and leave it to prove for an hour. To flavour the bread, caramelised red onion. That's 1 onion with a pinch of salt and pepper, a glug of oil and a knob of butter, cooked over gentle heat until it becomes really sticky. Add a little pinch of sugar and it's perfect. We'll also chop up some rosemary. Next up, mix your chopped rosemary and caramelised onions, which have cooled, into your bread dough.
The bit that makes this a fougasse is its shape. It's kind of like a leafy shape with like the holes in it as the stems or the leafy bits.
So, once you've got your 2 leaves, plenty more olive oil over the top, a sprinkle of sea salt, any left rosemary, and then after about 15 minutes at room temperature, bung it into an oven, 200 degrees Celsius, for about 25 minutes.
I very much enjoyed that. For something cheesy, I mean, that's blown my mind.
People can get ahead next week because we've actually already put the recipe up online.
You're kidding.
Oh yeah.
It's an awesome meringue reef, and if you want to get the recipe, you can get ahead, put your Christmas jumper on and join us here next week.
You can't put that on the door.
No. Who's got a question?
There's no question this week, mate. I'm really sorry.
What we thought was we'd talk about charity water instead.
Okay.
Because...
Hold on, bear with us.
Basically, we always take for granted the fact that we are fortunate enough to have clean water at the table, and yet 660 million people across the world don't have that privilege. So, teaming up with Charity Water during the festive period, we are going to raise awareness and donate money for the people that we value in our lives who aren't at this table right now.
So for example, I really value my family, and they can't be with us at this table right now, but you guys are, yeah? So to honour them, I'm going to donate money in honour of them to raise money and basically encourage them to then do the same for other people.
For me, there's 4 of us around this table, but the sorted family is bigger than that.
So Ben is going to donate £1.4 million to Charity Water.
It's in dollars. But what I am going to do is, because there's 12 of us in the sorted team, all the people who are holding such cameras and editing and making what we do possible, I'm going to donate for the 8 of them.
I am going to donate on behalf of Mike Huttlestone,
Senior.
Yourself.
who's my dad.
Ah!
I am a junior, so I'll do it for my dad.
So that you're both Michael Hartstones, do you have a different middle names just to separate you?
No. Basically, in 1986, my parents had a complete lack of creativity, so called me the exact same name as my Ben. No, as my Ben. As my... I'm not donating to anything.